This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Will, A Wonderful World. In the last episode, Jimmy defeated the, was able to run a Tokyo drift race and was able to figure out the clues to save himself, but apparently his dealings with the serial killer aren't quite done yet. And apparently the cat, Spotty, is coming back into the mix. I wonder what he has to offer. Oh, we also heard out some stuff about some of the abilities that the gods have, or at least that pen that they have. I wonder why. I thought they're gods. I thought they could just do it. Interesting. Well, anyway, let's see if we can save Jimmy from the serial killer in the final battle. And I think this might be Jimmy's final episode, or final story, just because, I don't know, I just feel like we're getting there, so. I had been toyed with by an infamous and psychopathic serial killer, and somehow I was still able to live to tell the tale. It's probably the greatest achievement of my entire life, now and forever, and you couldn't really tell anyone about it. Well, maybe you could, I don't know. I had hoped that I could just file a police report and get back to my normal life, but I was too naive. The police sent an officer to investigate my claims. He asked me to accompany him, but the investigation turned out to be very dispiriting. Dispiriting. The heavy rain and landslides overnight had washed away all the evidence where Pi and I had first met. The warehouse that had been used to imprison me belonged to a key factory that had gone bankrupt a long time ago. No useful clues remained in the warehouse except for my own fingerprints. The gate to Apple Manor was locked. According to the official records, the owner had gone abroad a few years ago. Could they have just broken in? Oh, wait, they probably need a warrant for that. We were not allowed to enter without a warrant. Oh, okay, well, there you go. Warrant. When I was in the bathroom of the police station, I overheard something that depressed me even more. About that young man, young employed man, he said he was willing to tell his family about the case. Do you think that's a little suspicious? Exactly. What he told was so outlandish. Pi is a serial killer who can easily take out a professional boxer. Why would he possibly let such an otaku escape? There's more! There's more! He said that he had heard the voice of Pi, and that sounded like, what was exactly? Oh right, a vampire! What a hoot! Maybe he was a junkie. Who knows? So many young people these days just don't want to get a real job. They live off their rich families and just mess around with drugs. You should look into him instead, I think. What about his case, then? Just tell him we'll keep investigating. You know, the usual nonsense. In any case, don't bother with it too much. We're not in charge of Pi's cases anyway. I don't want to waste my time with this. What a way to protect and serve, huh, folks? I sat on the toilet, totally stunned. I thought that as long as I told everything to the police, they would surely be able to follow the leads and capture Pi. I thought that they would at least be able to protect me. But now I had nothing but contempt for these useless police. Nothing but contempt. And even more contempt. Fine. If you people don't believe me, I'll prove it myself. I hacked into the surveillance system of Apple Manor. There was indeed not a living soul in the manor. Everything had been meticulously cleaned up by Pi. Wait, did he get stabbed with the poison? Maybe he had multiple antidotes somewhere just in case. When I was about to exit the system and clean up any trace of my invasion, I accidentally noticed a video file named after me in the storage system. Downloading. Playing. I thought it would be a video about me, but it was just a short video that lasted only a few seconds, or less for a few seconds. I will find you again! No! I let out a scream and dropped my favorite Sir Spotty mug, who was smashed into pieces. What was worse was that the video reminded me of the time that Pi kidnapped me from home while I was asleep. I was basically a pathetic lamb waiting to be slaughtered if I had just stayed at home like this. Should I call the police? Don't be silly. They would never take me seriously until I had become a dead body. Should I leave Hong Kong? But then it would be like the time when I left Beijing all over again. Perhaps I had to admit to myself that I was a complete and utter loser. In my senior year, I had a huge crush on a lovely girl. I had stalked her, taken photos in secret, and written her anonymous letters. I never had the courage to simply tell her how I felt face to face. Well, too bad, dude. She's into older men, if you know what I mean. Then the photos I took were exposed online, causing her tons of trouble. I remember the day when those photos had been posted. 2 boys from the lower grade were harassing her. I gathered all my courage and went out to them to stop them, thinking that I would teach them a lesson. As it turned out, I was the one who had been dragged into the bike, parking her and beaten up. That was probably the bravest thing I'd ever done in my entire life. I'd always been weak and useless. I wasn't able to help her win a tennis match. I couldn't appreciate an art exhibition. I didn't protect her when she was talking to me about bad people. I didn't take her to the hospital when she was ill and passed out. I couldn't even teach some punk kids from the lower grade a lesson. How would it even be possible for her to like someone like me? I'm surprised you're still remembering that after like 3 or 4 years or whatever. Eventually, I gave up on telling her how I felt. Instead, I ran back to Hong Kong after graduation. I also declined all the jobs that father had found for me. It wasn't that I didn't like those jobs. I was just worried that if I screwed up, father would know about it and I would get scolded by him. But then I never really went looking for jobs myself either. Eventually, I became a pathetic otaku. See, even this game's telling him that's not a good thing to do. I was still good at playing video games, but the only reason was that in the game I would never have to deal with any responsibility, win or lose. I've been running away for my entire life. Where could I even run away to this time? Did I really want to hide in the digital world again? Well, Digimon are there, so I don't know. I stared at Pi's short message, completely focused. 5 hours from noon until sunset. I finally made up my mind. I took a deep breath and dropped the throw pillow on the floor. A few minutes after I had recorded a video of myself, too, with my own message. Come at me, bro! Oh, sorry. Come at me, bastard. Uploading. For the next 3 days, I collected everything I could find about Pi on the internet, from rumors and random forums to the internal archives of the Hong Kong Police Department Criminal Division. Oh, that's where Kang and Chang are from. Like a detective on a TV show, I'd written down all of the tips on post-it notes. I then pinned them up on a board and connected the clues with threads. Oh, like a crazy, conspiracy nut. The common characteristics shared among Pi's chosen targets. 1. Sadistic. 2. Male. 3. Some kind of abnormal perversion. Pi's own traits. 1. Only use knives. 2. Preferred to strike at places that the victims frequented, such as their homes and workplaces, so that it'd be quickly discovered and serve as some sort of warning. 3. Preferred to strike during unusual hours of the day. If there wasn't a suitable time window, or if the window was too short, he would strike at another location and transfer the body to his preferred location later. 4. Depending on the sins or fetishes of the victim, Pi would always perform some ritual either before or after the attack. To inflict maximum suffrage upon the victim, it was typically done before. 5. Afterwards, he would always thoroughly clean up the crime scene. 6. Finally, he would always leave his own trademark, a smiley face. Pi must have been a patient, meticulous, and intelligent person. Now that I'd holed myself up at home, he must have been getting ready to come and get me. I had to be even more prepared and ready for when he eventually did. I decided to never set 1 foot out of my door again and rely solely on home deliveries. Whenever the food was delivered, I would tell the delivery guy to leave the food at the door. I would only open the door when I could make sure that nobody was outside, and I would leave my bag of trash out when I found it in my food. When I brought in my food, I had heard some ladies yelling about me leaving the garbage out in the hallway. I had no other choice. If I went downstairs to dump my garbage, Pi would be sure to find an opportunity to kill me. If I didn't throw the garbage away, and if Pi didn't show up for the 6 months, I would probably be crushed by my own trash before he killed me. It was a matter of life and death. I didn't want to be remembered as the first person in Hong Kong to ever be killed by his own garbage. With how many people live in the world and how many people die, I wouldn't be surprised if someone had already died from their garbage. Of course, I also had installed a full homemade alarm system in my home, and I never went to bed without a knife and a pepper spray in my hands. This had been my life for 2 months. It was a Tuesday. As usual, I had called for my delivery, and I was watching anime on my computers as I waited for my dinner. The bell to my apartment rang. The delivery guy showed up in the monitor. Come on up, just leave the bag at the door. My adrenaline level had risen to the highest it had ever been. For the last 2 months, I'd only ever ordered delivery from Pizza Hut. Well, you could say Jumanji, but you can't say Pizza Hut? Nah, whatever. There's probably a place in the world that may be called that for all we know. The closest one to my place had a total of 28 employees, 7 who would be out doing the deliveries. Lefty, Nemi, Uncle Quan, Terry, Sonny, plus 2 cooks who occasionally did the legwork too, Sister Wang and Brother Fang. I remembered everything about them. I could even tell the distance between the mole on Sister Wang's face and the corner of her mouth in millimeters. This delivery guy downstairs had a mole in the corner of his eye and incredibly pale skin. He was obviously not one of those 7 people. Meanwhile, Pizza Hut hadn't hired a new employee for 2 whole years as the business hadn't been going too well for them. Moreover, the manager, Old Lou, had always hated good-looking young men. He would never have hired some new guy like this. I logged in the surveillance system and ran some programs. My PDA screen immediately started showing a video from a hidden camera. On the screen, I got up from my computer and walked into the bathroom. The screen then switched to the view inside the bathroom. I started to undress, stepped into the bathtub, and closed the shower curtain. The screen switched again to what was behind the shower curtain, a naked me turning on the shower. Outside of the screen, though, I was still sitting in front of my computer. Based on the games Pi had played with me, I was confident Pi must be a competent hacker himself. Chances were that he was holding a PDA right now, looking at the exact same video while he was coming up the stairs. I grabbed the knife and the pepper spray. I walked into the bathroom. I turned on the shower. I closed the shower curtains. And I turned to the laundry basket sitting in the corner. I bought it especially for today. It was a long, extra large one, large enough to hide an entire person. Suddenly I felt like I'd forgotten something important. I opened the lid. Shit. Not now. I would always carelessly throw my dirty clothes in the basket every time I changed out of them, telling myself that I'd do the laundry next time. But I had forgotten that after 2 months of never actually doing the laundry, the basket was now full. No! Crap. If I pulled out the dirty clothes and dumped them on the floor, Pi would be sure to notice that something was suspicious. Why don't you just dump them in the toilet? Oh wait, no, because the camera, you can't. Never mind. Well, Rocky used to always mock me about this. Now I was paying for it. Time kept ticking away. Right at this moment, Pi was probably already standing at my door and getting out his key to unlock the door. What should I do? Was there anything else in the bathroom that I could hide inside? The toilet? How on earth could I hide inside that? All of a sudden, the bathroom door was slowly pushed open. It was Pi standing at the doorway, carrying a pizza box, looking right at me. He tipped the pizza hat that was on his head and smiled at me like a true gentleman. Long time no see. I panicked. I even forgot that I had a knife in my hand. I just nervously raised the pepper spray like an idiot. Pi was faster. He pulled out a can of God knows what and immediately sprayed all over my face. How could this have happened? I had planned so carefully, waited for so long, and I still ended up like this. Was it my fate to die at his hands? When my consciousness had finally returned to this world, Pi was standing right in front of me. This time there was no costume, no mask, no voice modulator. You must have thought that I would just kill you in your home and finish it all right. Well, to be honest, the games that we played together are really enjoyable, so it would be a shame to kill you off just like that, or off like that. In return, I made some special arrangements just for you this time. An even more spectacular arcade. He gestured behind him. It wasn't a very large room, but I could see all kinds of horrifying tools and devices everywhere. This time, the games would be played on a nightmare level. Jimmy. This really goes into a Saw territory or whatever, or what was that, Jigsaw levels territory? Meow, meow, meow. For a homeless cat, fresh waters is one of the biggest challenges we have to face. The puddles on the road were out of question. They are too dirty. The water in the fish tank on the seafood store isn't bad, but the owner catches me, he chases me off. Or if. Aside from those, there is another good option. The water inside something that humans call a toilet. The water there has a slow and steady flow, which always produces the best quality. Every homeless cat has their own favorite drinking spot. So did I. There was a big building not too far away from the street. Most humans go in and out of the building wear uniforms. Some of them will even salute one another. Speaking of which, why do humans poke themselves in the eye with their fingers to show their respect? Poke themselves in the eye. I'm not even sure. Oh, because the salute, like the fingers above their eyes or something? On the south side of the building, on the first floor, there was a small window that was always open. I often sneaked into the building through it. And there was a toilet behind that window. If I crawled under the door opposite the toilet, I could see even more toilets. Those two-legged monkeys spent so much effort that's just so they could just take a dump. What a waste. Tonight I jumped through the window on the first floor as usual. It was very quiet in the bathroom. I could see the moon through the window, which filled the room with silver moonlight. I stood up on the rim of the toilet and drank. Excuse me. I tumbled into the toilet, then the toilet lid dropped with a bang. I jumped upwards. Another bang. My head hit on the lid, but it didn't open. Have you become too old to stand still now? Somebody help me. Meow meow. It was pitch black in the toilet. I pushed my paw through the gap under the lid and wiggled, hoping desperately that someone would see it and help me. But all I could hear was myself and some flies buzzing in the bathroom. Had the humans all gone home after work? I struggled for a while until I was totally exhausted. The room quieted down. I thought of the house cats I despised. One of them had fallen into the toilet in his own house. His humans would have gotten them out by now for sure. And then he would take a nice bath and be wrapped up in a warm blanket. Maybe his humans would even play some music and sing for him. I began humming to myself without even realizing it, before shutting myself up when I heard how off-key I was. Spotty. Well, sorry to hear that, dude. It's funny how Spot's problems are just really just not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but to a cat it's a big deal, you know what I mean? So, alright, let's see how we can save Jimmy and Spotty from being stuck in the toilet. So, alright, let's obviously set that up. So. Alright. 6 and 6 and 5? That shouldn't be too bad. Let's see how many options we have too. Okay. Only 3? And we can't adjust them, can we? Okay. I'm just seeing if I could move him, like, up or past a puck. So, okay, so we... Let's see. Okay. Let's see how we can do this. Let's try that. We'll do the obvious techniques as well. Yep. Have I become too old to stand still now? Somebody help me. Meow meow. I was scared shitless in the toilet when a human finally opened the lid. What the hell was there a damn cat here? He grabbed me by the back of my neck with a disgusted look on his face. He threw me out the window that had come in from... Out the window? Holy crap. I thought I would land on some grass. But I didn't expect was a gigantic human-made metal machine that parked outside the window. One of my front paws hit the machine so hard it almost got broken. Damn it, if I were younger, I would have easily scored a perfect landing. I massaged my paw and was getting ready to leave. That was when I saw Blackie, whom I hadn't seen for a long time. He seemed to have matured a lot and wasn't as intimidating as I once remembered. He said he no longer cared about whether humans preferred cats or dogs. Survival was all that mattered to him. He also told me that his old turf, the pipe in the empty lot, had been taken over by a stinky cat named Yi Zhi. Yi Zhi was a glutton. He would always make the other cats bring him food. They were not even allowed into the lot unless they brought him some tribute. Now, the lot always smelled like dead rats. Because of this, the humans lived nearby had called people from a homeless shelter, or homeless animal shelter, and they had taken away many homeless cats. You shouldn't be careful. Or, you shouldn't be careful. Before he could oh. Okay. I don't know. You should be careful. Before he managed to sit, this Blacker was trapped inside a net. He got his ass snatched up in a bear trap. I saw 2 humans in uniform holding a bag and a trap net. One was fat and the other was very thin. Well, like, Laurel and Hardy or something like that. They were standing only a meter away from me. I had to temporarily forget about the pain in my paw and climbed up a nearby tree as fast as I could. I then jumped up onto the edge of a roof. Fortunately, I was able to get away. Farewell, Blackie. You suck. Smelly cat, huh? I wonder if that's getting all of Spotty's stuff finalized, like getting all his profile or whatever. I had no other choice but to follow my original plan. I pulled out half of the dirty clothes and tossed them aside, then I climbed in the basket and closed the lid. I tried to observe what was going on through the holes in the wicker basket. The bathroom door was pushed open. A slim but menacing figure walked in. I held my breath and my knife and pepper spray were tight in my hands. May the goddess bless me. 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 Pi slowly crouched down. He stared at the holes in the basket. His expression went from suspicious to certain. Long time no see. The goddess had forsaken me once again. Why? Why? I stood up from the basket screaming and stabbed him with the knife in my hand. Pi casually blocked the knife with the pizza box. There wasn't pizza inside the box, but something metal. If he had been well prepared all along. He raised a can of God knows what and sprayed on my face. How could this have happened? I planned so carefully. Oh, I think this is the same as before. Sorry, my sinuses are acting up again. Must have thought that would kill you in your home. We're really why is this part slowing down? Like, I even have the thing where it's supposed to speed up or show like the whole dialogue or whatever, but for some reason here it even he gestured behind him. It wasn't a very large room, but I could see all kinds of horror and devices. Oh, never mind, it's the same. Okay, so different is just he just hides in the box or whatever. Ooh, baby, we get C rank with the Spotty there. That looks like Spotty just has one bad inning and normal innings after that part. At least it's what it seems like anyway. All right, what do we got now? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let's try the whole, all on one side and see what happens. I was drinking when I heard a loud engine booming outside the window. It was the kind of sound that could only be produced by one of those human-made machines. Even the window of the bathroom began shaking because of the noise. After a few seconds, the door open pane was shaken. Or after a few seconds, the open window pane was shaken shut. Yep. Oh no! And the front door of the room was closed. There was no one inside. I knocked at the door, hoping to hear something from the other side of the door, but it seemed like there was no one left either. Had the humans all gone home from after work? Do I have to wait here until morning? No, 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 meow. Something incredible weird had happened. In a panic, I put one foot in the toilet, but it somehow sucked my entire body inside. A huge noise immediately followed, and I could see nothing but darkness. From a scientific point of view, this is absolutely ridiculous and impossible. Yet there was no other reasonable explanation. Well, this is what happens when God messes with the physics and everything like that. My body had just shrunk. To keep myself from sliding down further, I jumped upwards as hard as I could. My head bumped into something, but surprisingly, it didn't stop me. I landed next to the toilet, smelling like crap. Fortunately, wait, do you not flush your toilet? Fortunately, my body had changed back to normal. But unfortunately, Pi was standing right in front of me. He hadn't shown any sign of surprise and just immediately sprayed a can of God knows what over my face. So he didn't even look surprised he jumped out of a toilet somehow. Wow. Let's see. No costume. Must have thought, kill you. This is probably one of the sillier, like, despite it being a serious situation, one of the final confrontations against the serial killer, the fact that you could just hide the dude in a toilet somehow is just amazing, you know? Okay. That was still funny, though. Let me interested to see what the actual... That'll rank B. Alright, so won't be too much more to finish this thing off, so alright. Let's see, maybe if we move stuff around this time instead of... Or if we, yeah, let's do that. Something weird happened, panic. Sorry. God, my allergies are really getting to me today. My back was against the cool, slippery, arch-shaped ceramic wall. It was also sticking to the wall because of some smelly and muddy stuff. Ugh. Before my brain could get a chance to process all of it, I was suddenly blinded by a sudden burst of light. The sight I had just seen had me gasping in shock. Ew, that's disgusting! A low, muffled voice came from above. I saw a pale face with blue eyes appear in an oval-shaped gap. Fortunately for me, Pi didn't see me. Unfortunately, though, he was reaching for the button on the water tank. Oh, he's got to flush the toilet. Wait, no! A huge booming sound came from somewhere above me. Several torrential screams burst out from the toilet rim. It was a futile struggle in the roaring whirlpool. It was finally swallowed by the tsunami in the toilet. And he got... That's his B, right? Because he got flushed? Huh. Okay. Just a couple more variations to the ending there. Okay, then if we do just a... Maybe this one? There we go. I wasn't sure if it was me getting older that I had become easily scared. I was so startled that I leapt in the air when I heard someone come in. Apparently the person who was on his phone when he came in was also so startled by me that he dropped his phone. What the hell? Why is there a damn cat here? He picked up his phone and grabbed me by the back of my neck. He threw me out the window that I had come in from. I thought that I would land on some grass. What I didn't expect was a gigantic human-made... Okay, that's... It almost broke. Blackie. Humans or cats. Gigi. Some of the rats. Almost cats. You should be careful. Caught. Stay away from me. Cat. Get away. Farewell, Blackie. Huh, that wasn't really much different. Other than just how the human found him and whatever. Let's see. This one's the same. At least to a point. Some nice stuff. Before my break, I get a chance to process all this. I was slipping down faster and faster. And then splash. Sploosh. Splash. I felt as if I had just fallen from the sky into an ocean. My mouth and nose were submerged in a foul-smelling liquid in an instant. It didn't matter too much where I was at this point, because I couldn't swim! How could this have happened? I had planned so carefully, waited for so long, and I still ended up like this. Was it my fate to die at his hands? I mean, you didn't really die, you were... whatever. Okay, so... A and A, man. One more and that'll be it. See... Okay. I was about to say, that should get both of them. man pushed open the door and walked in while I was on his phone. He saw me standing at the toilet, did a double take, and walked in the next stall. He's just like, nope. He was still on his phone while he was doing his business. Keep a close eye the next couple days. If call immediately. I was about to drink some more when I heard a loud engine booming outside the window. It was the kind of sound that could only be produced by one of those human-made machines. Even the window in the bathroom began shaking because of the noise. After a few seconds, the door opened. The open window pane was shaken shut.
Yep.
Oh no! But I was a lucky spotty. The man had just finished his business. He was walking out, still holding the phone. I shrewdly followed him and left the bathroom. Oh, well, that's how you get that makes sense as that to be his S-rank. He just gets out with no problem. But I had shrunk. Oh, to keep myself from sliding down further, I jumped upwards as hard as I could. My head bumped into something, but surprisingly it didn't stop me. I landed next to the toilet. Aside from smelling a little, my body seemed to have changed back to normal. After a brief period of shock, I realized that this must have been a blessing from the goddess of fortune. She had given me a place to hide. I had entered the apartment. I didn't have much time for anything else. I quickly grabbed the rope I had lying and stepped inside the toilet. Stepped into the toilet. One more time, turning into Lilliputian. What is that? I don't even know what that is. I'll have to look that up. I hid in the toilet and saw Pi walking into the bathroom. He looked like a giant to me. I could see every fiber on his pizza uniform, every blonde hair on his arm, and every long eyelash around his eye. Pi looked around. He even checked the laundry basket. My heart skipped a few beats. Thank God it wasn't hiding there. Finally, he grabbed the shower curtains with his hands, but he didn't immediately pull it open. It couldn't be. Did he see through my setup? However, the goddess awarded me another blessing. Pi sneezed. Yes, he just sneezed. He involuntarily pulled open the shower curtain and unveiled the trap that I'd set up. A huge amount of liquid suddenly ejected from the wall. Pi was pushed back by the power of the eruption, and then he slipped and fell to the ground. He covered his face with his hands and started screaming in pain. Was it just a bunch of like a pepper spray shit or something? It was not just regular pepper spray. Oh, well, there you go. It was my personal invention, filling a fire extinguisher with jalapeno water and pepper spray. I had named it the Super Awesome Anti-Pie Spray Machine. Both the power and the simulation were absolutely top-notch. I jumped back out of the toilet. My body returned to normal once again. Then I picked up the lid of the water tank and smashed it on his head as hard as I could. What a small world. The officers who came by the apartment were the same ones who'd been suspicious of me. The one who had wanted to investigate me even gave me a meaningful look before they left. Of course, they didn't say anything else except to politely thank me for my assistance. And I, of course, politely gave him the finger. After I sent the police away, the next day, the news of Pi being captured was everywhere. They didn't even publish Pi's family background and his history, although no one would know it if they were true or not. Whatever the case, I care any less. Upon my firm insistence, the police agreed to not reveal the truth of how Pi had been captured. I did not want to be in the paper once again. The world was full of surprises, but life still went on, and I did a thorough cleaning of my apartment. I even cleaned the dust that had been piling up at my computer case for years. Looking at my nice and sparkling clean room, I felt like my mood had finally brightened up too. I stayed inside for a few more days, then I went and visited my parents. I also visited lots of places around Hong Kong. Everywhere I went, I would go and check the bathroom. There, I would try to jump in the toilet and then jump back out again. Of course, I only chose the ones that looked clean. Despite still not knowing how it happened that day, I had indeed gained a superpower. Furthermore, I had a new hypnosis hypothesis, too. What if a toilet was not connected to the sewer? What if at the bottom of the toilet there was simply another opening? Would I be able to stay shrunk and still move around? Ever since I had this thought, I began to often get too excited to fall asleep at night. Fall asleep? You mean fall asleep? Anyway, I'd lie on the bed, stare at my collection of Marvel comic books. You can mention Marvel and all this other stuff, but you can't mention, like, Pizza Hut? Anyway, Marvel comic books on the shelf and start fantasizing. Now that I had this superpower, I had special responsibilities as well, right? With great power comes great responsibility, huh? Sure. The superpower to go inside toilets. Oh, good. That's pretty funny when you think about it, so. Alright. Yep. Let's look at the letter.
Porque siempre me pasa esto.
Well, yep, so I don't know if that... Okay, I was about to say, that might be Spy's last story, but nope, he's got a little bar on his, which means he's got more to go. So we still got Pies, which... Oh, sorry, if you haven't already figured it out yet, this is Pies thing. Yeah, spoilers. Yeah, no, you figured it all out by then. So it's like Chang, Alicia, and Carlos, and this guy. I think we're missing a couple because if you go to the profiles, there's 2 more spots left. They're probably random characters or whatever. Did we finish his? We must have already gotten the achievement for that. Okay, I guess since that's his, I assume his final mission, we might as well read his little thing. Hobbies, video games, manga, anime, programming, technology. Religion, the goddess of fortune. Favorite game, Will of the Wonderful World. Aha. So that's what was playing. The music was the intro music or whatever. Really, this is your favorite game of all time? Way to suck your own dick, game. Yeah. At age 18, transferred from Hong Kong to Yin Yang High School at the senior year. Bullied at school, transferred back to Hong Kong after family sued the school. Unverified rumors about molesting boys in the street were published in gossip magazines. Had his first encounter with the psychotic killer Pi. Pi. Imprisoned by the psychopathic killer Pi, but managed to escape. Under duress when the psychotic serial killer Pi was speeding on restricted roads during a protest. Not charged, not arrested by the police. Poisoned by the psychotic serial killer Pi at participated in a survival game, managed to survive. Reported information about the psychotic serial killer Pi to the police, but was ignored. During a later encounter with Pi, managed to overpower him and become the unsung hero for the killer's capture. I think that's, let me see. Went to Yin Yang High School, loved tennis and soccer. Uploaded some photos. I think we read that. I think I read that too. We're missing one of Wen, so I guess, although I think I read that already. Yeah, we're missing one of his. The Mystery Man, though we know who he actually is. Yeah, we got his. Did I read his and his? Yeah, I think I did. Carlos, we're missing a couple on his. Alicia, one on hers. I thought I already got the achievement for hers. Maybe that extra one is just a bonus or something like that. Spotties. A normal cat from Korea. A stray cat from Korea. Favorite food, milk. Special attack, unstoppable meow punch. Darkest thoughts, I should stuff dead rats in the humans' beds. Weirdest hobby, drinking from the toilet while standing on the rim. And proudest achievement, beat Blackie in a turf war. And looks like Chang. Really, I think the detectives seem to have the most story, and we yet to unlock most of that stuff. So, anyway, in the next episode of Will, A Wonderful World, we'll see how Carlos gets out of whatever situation he is and see what other stories unlock from that. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.